Joel Rubin. He was a Deputy Assistant Secretary of State for Legislative Affairs in the Obama administration, where he directed the State Department's work with the U.S. House of Representatives. He joins us now live from Chevy Chase, Maryland. Joel, great to have you with us. I want to start by getting your reaction to Bright's testimony and what impact that you think that that's going to have at the federal level.
Yeah, thank you, Kilmany. And the testimony today was devastating. To have the top epidemiologist in the U.S. government basically say that the Trump administration bungled the response to the coronavirus and did not listen to the experts who were warning, like Dr. Bright was, about the need for preparation. That's going to severely impact what the legislation is coming out of Capitol Hill for both financing future government operations as well as the activities in oversight and the idea that now is the time to really investigate that response and ensure that we stop having a perpetuation of the lack of preparation.
So I want to ask you this, Joel. We talk about a bungled response. This was a pandemic that caught the whole world off guard. I think a lot of countries realized that they weren't prepared for it. Certainly, there are things to look at when it comes to the Trump administration's initial response, but we also know that supplies were not where they needed to be back in 2007. So when we look at the big picture, how much of this can be blamed on the Trump administration for the mishandling of this pandemic?
So things happen, pandemics happen. There were always predictions in the national security community that a pandemic would occur. The issue isn't having full preparation 100% of the way at the front end of it. The question is are the plans clearly vetted and understood by the government so that if and when a situation like this occurs, they move into action. So the Obama administration, for example, we left a 70-plus page document describing how to mobilize the U.S. government and all levels of state and local government and the private sector to deal with a pandemic or a virus spread as it became about. The problem here is that the Trump administration disbanded the offices that oversaw that type of pandemic response and ignored 2 months worth of pressure from inside the government from the experts who knew about how to respond. It basically ignored that advice. So that's where the bungling is. It's not that we didn't have everything ready from day one. It's that we ignored the plans to prevent the actual spreading of the virus once we knew it was here.
Joel, given the stark warnings that we have heard from America's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci, and now Dr. Bright, what does the nation need to do now to ward off what is expected to be a very deadly winter here in the United States?
Well, we still have time, and that's what we heard today from Dr. Bright, to get this right. Americans are generally still at home in place. So this is the time where we need to ensure that we have enough testing underway and a clear plan for how that's going to be executed across the country. That we have contact tracing where health departments are identifying sick people and who they've met with to isolate the actual sick people and help them recover. We have to have that structure in place. We have to have leadership from the White House that says this is the playbook in very detailed form, and the president saying this is what we're going to do. The problem right now is that he is not taking that leadership role. He's sort of scattershot and cheering on people who are saying the end to quarantine without any testing or contact tracing in place. So we're not taking advantage of this window of not even calm, but relative calm compared to where it could be in the fall if we're not ready.
Joel Rubin, great to have you with us. We really appreciate that. Thanks.